Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on the Deputy Mayor of Bitou Municipality. Her name is Nokuzola Kolwapi. And this past weekend she did something very interesting that I think will cause her to end up in jail within the next 6 to 12 months. Now, before I get into it, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free. The overwhelming majority of you that regularly watch my content aren't subscribed, but you can fix that by just clicking the subscribe button below. Alright, so let's have a look at what this deputy mayor did. Can we just start there? This is the deputy mayor holding a firearm with her finger on the trigger, under her chin. And there we know officially that it is a legitimate weapon because the shell went out and you could hear that firing shot. That is 100% a legitimate firearm. Two shots so far. Three. Four. Okay. Whoa. We need to unpack a couple of things here. You can clearly see her fingers on the trigger there. Not safe. It's on the trigger with a loaded firearm under her chin. I mean, batshit crazy. But then she discharges it 4 times in a public space. And as you will see over here, her finger is still on the trigger. And then look at this over here. Where is it? Yeah, look at that. Look at how, with the finger on the trigger. Look at that. Pointing it straight into the cameraman's lens. And then look at this. That child. That child is directly in the line of that firearm. So if she accidentally stepped on something and lost the balance and the trigger finger went too hard, that would have hit him directly in the head. Wow. Alright. So the deputy mayor of Bitou Municipality thinks it's okay to discharge a firearm in a public space, not knowing where the bullets are going to land, because you know what goes up must come down at terminal velocity. And then not only does he discharge this firearm in a public space, but she also then points it at people with her finger. Sorry, this actually is a trigger finger that's on the trigger. The first thing you learn when you go for firearm training is to always make sure the firearm is safe and to always keep your finger off of the trigger. So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. Why is the deputy mayor so arrogant to think that she is above the law, that she can do this, knowing that Julius Malema was found guilty for the exact same thing? I would argue that Julius Malema was safer in the way that he discharged his firearm than what she is, because her finger is on the trigger at all times, and also she's pointing it at the crowd and at some point directly at a child that is running across the street. And if she bounced wrong or if she touched something and the trigger went, she could have shot that child straight through the head. So she thinks she's above the law. Let's now talk about how the hell somebody with such a lack of common sense can be a leader. How is that possible? How is it possible that somebody that doesn't have the common sense to know that that is dangerous, illegal, and could kill people, how is that person in a leadership role within a municipality? Do you want to tell me that somebody that holds a firearm like this under her chin with her trigger finger on the trigger, do you think that's a competent person? But how is that person competent to lead and be in charge of hundreds of thousands of people? How can you trust somebody like that to do what is in your best interest if she is willing to discharge a firearm in a public space that is not in the best interest of anybody that is around her? At what point do we just go, what's going on here, guys? Is this really the best that this country has to offer with regards to leadership? She's a public representative and she does this type of shit. I mean, look, we all know that she is Murtu. I mean, there's previous case law as recent as a month and a bit ago where somebody was found guilty for doing the exact same thing, Julius Malema. So we're also waiting for the court judgment on whether he's going to actually be imprisoned or not. But I would argue that this right here is even worse. I think that not only should they go and arrest her today, because they are still investigating it. A case has allegedly been opened for discharging a firearm in a public space and the pointing of a firearm, which is against the law, obviously. But they shouldn't need to investigate. Here's the video. It's right here. Go and arrest her. Go and arrest her right now and refuse bail because she can't be trusted. And she will influence people. And then early in the new year, just run the court case very quickly because all the evidence is here. Find her guilty and imprison her because that's where she belongs. That's where she belongs. And I mean, a recent example also, when I was in council, that people just threw jugs all over the place, not knowing if it could hit somebody on the head, shatter and, kill them by either direct impact or by, cutting a main artery. This is actually normal in the ANC. This is not abnormal. This isn't one-off. This is every day. The overwhelming majority of people that are put into positions where they govern people or they are public representative, 99% of the time, they aren't qualified to do that. And cases like this, you can clearly see that they can even put people's lives at risk. That child could have been dead. That child could have died. But yet, she's the deputy mayor of the Bitou Municipality, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me again that South Africa is fine. Tell me again that, hey, we are doing so great as a nation. when we have deputy mayors that think it's okay legally to first discharge a firearm in a public space, keeping her trigger finger on the trigger, and then just moving it and waving it like that, and the best part, keeping it under her own chin with her finger being on the trigger. Need I say more, South Africa? Need I say more? No, in actual fact, I don't. Because that video speaks for itself. God help us all. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash the like button, share this video far and wide, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. And if you enjoy my content and you enjoy this channel, please consider becoming a member. It'll cost you R39.99 a month, and that is in support of me and this channel, and it'll be greatly appreciated. And that's all I got to say, everybody. Till later, cheers, and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre.